Welcome back to the DJ Sessions, where we feature the best DJs and producers from around the world. I'm your host, Darren, and right now I'm sitting in the virtual studios in Seattle, Washington, and coming in all the way from halfway around the world from Stockholm, Sweden, we have Jacob and Victor Anderson from ManyFew. How's it going today, guys?
Hi, how's it going?
Yeah, well, good, thank you. How are you
doing? It's been a little bit. I think it was last summer when we last chatted, and I'm very honored to be catching up with the both of you again. Now that I see you are really active, and we're going to dive right into some stuff here. I mean, you have been waiting to get out in the clubs and starting to get out there now, and caught something, that video that you were at Ministry of Sound London not too long ago.
It was absolutely mind blowing. I mean, we went there straight after New Year's Eve, and so actually we had some slots there. We were supposed to play at Ministry of Sound just before lockdown. So then now, just straight after New Year's Eve, we went over to London, and then we secured this one. It was a really big show. We played alongside A-Lock.
It was a sold out event, and we had an absolutely blast. It was amazing to be back and play again and see the reactions from the fans. It was awesome.
And especially since we have released lots of songs during the lockdown, I mean, to see people dancing and also sing along in our songs, that was absolutely amazing.
And speaking of releases, one of your current releases is You Had Me with Anton Powers. It seems you're doing a lot of work with Anton. How did that partnership start, and how long have you been working with Anton for?
I think we started the initial idea we came up with in the beginning of last year, 2021.
Yeah, I mean, we have been big fans of Anton's music, and he told us the same about ours. So that was really nice. Last year we started the process creatively, and we have had a really good process working together. And it's nice that the single is out now.
And I think we did the first demo of it, was it last summer? Yeah. So we wanted to catch those uplifting summer vibes. And also on the songwriting credits, we have the Brit Award winner, Becky Hill, the UK artist. So that's an absolutely honor to have written this song together with her as well. So that's amazing.
And speaking of other tracks with Anton, the one I just fell in love with, I was watching a little bit of the snippet of the video today. These Are the Days.
Yeah.
It made me just think, this is my new summer song. This is going to be the song playing all summer, out there all summer. I mean, tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind the making of These Are the Days.
Yeah, I think the inspiration behind it is to catch the summer vibe. And we started with a guitar riff. You can hear that in the intro especially. And that was, since Becky Hill is on board on that one, she has been doing a magic thing on the vocals, of course. And Liv Dawson is having such a great voice as well, and we had a great working flow on that one.
Definitely, and I think also there we send demos back and forth. I think the guitar at the beginning was one of those songs, one of those elements we saved from the first draft. So that was nice, and also I mean, working together with Anton Powers is such a nice vibes.
Who did the cinematography on that video?
That's a nice one. Actually, it's together with our record label, Spinnin Records. So yeah, we need to check it out more in depth with those guys at Spinnin.
I definitely want to be on that boat, on that beach. I want to be out there right now. Fortunate enough, I won't be getting over to that side of the world till later this year. I will be at ADE this year. We're super excited to be a part of that. Did you get a chance? I saw you might have been doing something in Ibiza. Is that correct?
Yeah. So actually, we went down to IMS in Ibiza. That was just a few weeks ago. And we had such a blast there. Met some nice industry people, and also the colleagues, songwriters, and we did some play. We also played some records. So yeah, we had a nice time.
Can't wait for Amsterdam Dance Event this year. Of course, that's going to be nice.
That's also like the biggest Christmas of the year. Of course, it's
going to be our first year, and it's going to kick off a series of going to the festival. So it'll be ADE, right around the corner is Winter Music Conference. Then IMS. I'm looking at probably doing Sonar next year, because something we want to do that we're launching is we're announcing our new label in Q1 of 2023. Yeah, we're super excited for this, but just getting out there and being able to possibly shake your hands in person, is what we're looking forward to.
Amazing. That's so essential to shake those hands as well. I mean, we love networking.
Yeah, we have an Airbnb like 2 blocks away from where everything happens, right in the heart of Amsterdam. So we're super excited. I have not been to Europe yet. So it's Amsterdam, ADE, and Europe for my first time. Like, whoa.
Here we go. Amazing.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. Well, what else are you two working on right now? Do you have anything else in the works right now that you can talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. We are working on a new single. It's actually some summer vibes in that one as well. It's going to be out in June, out on the market, and we are super excited for that one.
So on that one, we are working with a soul artist, soul a cappella feature artist. So that one is going to be nice as well. And I think, me fingers crossed for the feedback.
On the whole, how long does it take you to actually produce a track? Is this something that can it sometimes take a week, 2 weeks, 6 months? How long is your average time to actually idea to release?
Well, it all depends on which state of mind you are in, of course, but at the same time, I mean, from start to finish, sometimes I think one of the quickest was maybe 3-4 hours.
Yeah, but it can take 3 months. It can take 1 year, but from start to finish, usually a couple of months, I would say, but the initial idea, just a few hours.
Yeah.
Now, and I see that not only in addition to the tracks that you're releasing, you have a merch line as well. I caught the snapback hat, but there's something else that you released recently, and it's been the big buzzword, these 3 little letters out there. You guys just had an NFT launch. And not too long ago. Tell us about that, because that is like one of the hottest things that is going to probably with Web 3.0 coming out. What made you two decide to get into the NFT world? Tell us about what that launch was. We want to know all about it.
I think for us, it's still a very new world, of course, but I think we were invited to this, maybe was it last year, and then we came up with the idea ourselves, and then we partnered up with the company. And I think nowadays I'm huge fans of the NFT, especially from other DJ producers, but also from artists as well. So we basically teamed up with this in France, Paris.
Yeah,
the company.
Atlanticus is the name, and we wanted to create a track that was, something really personal for us. Since we love house music, we wanted to create a house track, but also create a artwork to it and a GIF as well. It's a new world, as you were saying, Jacob.
I think it's very exciting, and definitely it's the future for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of those things that we're looking into with so many assets that we've created over the years. We're trying to still figure out how to get a full episode of ours as an NFT. We can do small little clips, but I want to get the whole episode and say, oh, here's the ManyFew interview as an NFT. We're going to give these out to everyone that's ever been on the show. Here's your think about it like you came on the show and we're giving you a bottle of wine, or we're sending you flowers or the fruit basket. We're going to start giving out NFTs, everyone. The problem is the size of these files are like a gigabyte in size.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out, my friend has actually written a compression algorithm to actually bring it down. We've gotten 770 megabytes down to about 160 megabytes. With no loss. Yeah, which really, he actually wrote himself. So we just got to do some tweaks and then figure it out and go to market. We're waiting for it to come back up a little bit. But, it's going to happen, and we're super excited for that, because we also just launched our virtual reality nightclubs. So we have VR nightclubs in Alt Space. Do you two own an Oculus? Are you into VR at all?
We have started a little bit, but we definitely need to check it out more. But that's definitely also the future, talking about futures. So that's definitely something we are open for to develop and also perform as ManyFew on. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's been a ride for us getting our virtual reality environments up, but they are up and running. We're getting ready to do heavy promotion on them and also get them out into other worlds. I'm actually onboarding a DJ I just spoke with. He called me up and said, "So what are you doing in the virtual reality realm?" And I said, "Well, I guess I have 2 nightclubs in there." And he went and took a look and said, "These people I was working with over here, they're in kindergarten. You're in the master's program of this stuff." Yeah, I've had people come into our clubs and they're very impressed with the look, the feel, the design. And that's just called, our first one is called Beta Nightclub because we really haven't even launched version 1 yet. But we'll have version 1 and then version 2. There's a whole 10, 15 year rollout on this whole thing. And NFTs are going to be a huge part of this.
Yeah.
Because the whole building itself can be a NFT art gallery. And we're going to curate once a month. I mean, we could take your NFTs and put them up and people could be walking through the club and go, "I want to buy an NFT of that." Okay, cool. Take it right to the store, buys it in their wallet. And and we can curate that, whether it's music or art or our past episodes, and have like this virtual gallery online. So we're super excited for that.
Yeah,
I'll have to get you guys well, there is an exclusive mix that I heard that you guys just made for the DJ session. So that will definitely be featured in there shortly. I'll let you know all about it. But here's something I wanted to talk to you two about. You actually have a series that you do called Electronic Heaven. And tell our DJ Sessions fans a little bit about why you started Electronic Heaven, what it's all about, and why it's important to listen to it.
We've always been big fans of radio, and we still are. And also, I mean, we started this as a hobby beside the production side. So, and this was on SoundCloud just a few years ago. And then we saw that, we received lots of super nice feedback support. So we put it up on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and also on Google Podcasts, and received massive support. So now we have over 1 million monthly listeners. So
yeah, and we are so passionate about it as well. It's almost like a gig for us.
Yeah.
We chose very careful the tracks we are playing and are very into how we're building this journey, and it's so fun to do it as well. So
bringing guest mixes to the show as well, and I think Anthem Powers, for example, has been on board, and we have some really cool names coming up this summer as well. So we are also on radio stations all around the globe. So yeah, we are super happy for that opportunity as well, and see the reactions from fans. That's great.
Congratulations on that. It's a feat to produce a monthly show, let alone, this is a once a month show you guys have going on? Yeah. Once a month. Yes. Yeah. And staying in touch with those fans, and such a great reception. There was something else that you recently took part of as well, and that was the Slam Mix Marathon. And when I was doing a little research, I'm like looking at this lineup going, wow, where was I? I must have been sleeping. Maybe this was during it was 3 p.m. CET. Okay, so I might have been asleep. But I mean, what was it like taking part of that? And was that a live stream that everyone was on, or how did that come about in the Slam Mix?
That was absolutely an amazing experience as well. And it was, as you were saying, it was 100% live, and it was broadcasted on one of the biggest FM stations in Holland. So, I mean, that was, and we had maybe a 20-minute set. So if something goes wrong, it goes wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, that's and also to be in their studio in Holland as well, and recorded the live stream set, and it goes live, right away, and we are there. It's always a little bit nervous, but we had so much fun.
Yeah, and also people were sending us text messages saying, "Hey, we are sitting in the studio right now, listen to your live stream," etc. So that was absolutely amazing. And I think 1 week before, Sam Felt was there. So I mean, it's really cool, and we're humble for that opportunity.
So what is one essential track out right now that that you are playing in your set? Something that's so hot right now, not one of your own, Those are already too hot. What's something that you just really can't get enough of right now? An essential track right now. It's May. What's the date today? Today's the May 16th, 2022. Hottest track out right now that you're playing in your sets.
Well, I need to check out the name of the correct, but there's some really.
We have some. We are playing a lot, and let's see which one you are thinking about.
I was also thinking about the.
I think that's the.
Yeah. So, but also I was thinking about we received a banger the other day from a DJ, a very famous one, but unfortunately we are not allowed to tell the. That one we played out last weekend, and it was great.
But you're thinking one of the tracks we're playing right now is Umlaut, Tricky. It's based on the old. It's sampled from the. Do you remember that track? It was called Tricky as well. I think it's from the 80s.
Run DMC,
Tricky.
Tricky. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a sample from that track, and that's a really cool one, especially in the clubs. Great. A
little bit of a bass house to it as well. But when we are, I think that one was released maybe 1 month ago, just a few weeks back. But we have been playing it now for maybe 6 weeks in the club, and every single time when it's been rocking and
tricky.
Then
I think that was probably one of my first rap albums I bought on cassette as a kid.
Oh,
it was the Run DMC Raising Hell album, and it had It's Tricky on it.
Nice.
Funny enough, I was just actually singing to my girlfriend a song off that album the other day. She was like, "Wow." I'm like, "Yeah, I just dated myself." But still one of the great albums. I was produced by Rick Rubin, I believe, when he was was Def Jam, I believe was was that Rick? I think Rick was working for Def Jam, and they were on Def Jam. They should have been with what's his name, Russell Simmons.
Oh, cool.
I think Russell. Maybe I got to get my hip hop. Please don't murder me if that's wrong, fans. I know Russell and Rick and all them were. I think it was Rick Rubin though. But anyways, so and you're out there playing clubs, and you're selling out clubs. Ministry of Sound, London. Would you prefer to be at more intimate clubs, or are you looking forward to the bigger festivals?
I mean, we love both. It's if you are listening to our music, it's a lot of vocals and perhaps not those underground vibes, but we love to play those underground vibes as well. So we played a few weeks ago here in Stockholm in one of the biggest underground clubs, and I mean, it's such a nice vibe as well, and we love to catch that vibe. But at the same time, festivals, it's so cool as well.
Of course, one of our biggest dreams is to perform stateside at Coachella, for example, Miami, Ultra Music. Of course, that would be amazing. Or EDC in Las Vegas, that would be great. So
yeah.
I just went to EDC last year for my first time. Luckily enough, they held it in October. So I think it's happening right now, or it's about to happen. It's coming up. Yeah. And my friends are telling me, you're lucky you did this in October last year, because normally it's like 110 degrees out during the day and like 100 degrees out, and the pavement is just hot. And you're just like, but it was such beautiful. It was such a beautiful feeling. It was so amazing. The artwork, the design, the work that goes into that event was just phenomenal. It was glad to see that. And especially they had the drone show that came out and did the drones, and they formed the owl, and it was mind blowing. And we actually, a friend of mine who I went with, we actually just ended up posting. We found this really cool place that was kind of like VIP only, not cool people, like next tier up VIP, not the VIP, because there's like 85 different levels of VIP at EDC. But we were able to go sit in this place, and then when the fireworks went off and they go around the whole, and they're just boom, 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 boom. Oh, wow. And it's just like, and you can hear the different stages and the different music and the screen. It was just so mind blowing. And I prefer larger festivals, but I also do prefer the intimate, smaller gatherings. There was a club we used to have here in Seattle called the Sea Sound Lounge. And it was maybe about $1 for it, maybe 150, 200 people. but you were, no matter where you were at, you were 10 to 15 feet away from the artist that was playing.
Yeah,
you really felt that connection with them and that kind of vibe, rather than here's EDC and there's 50,000 people deep and I see this person and this big on the stage.
Yeah. And I think that's something we really appreciate, to be very close to fans as well, but also performing at big festivals. That's mind-blowing indeed.
Absolutely. What's been your best experience with a promoter over the years?
Yeah, I mean, it's been all good so far, I would say, with promoters. No hard feelings or hard feedback, but they can be picky, of course. But we have had a very good time with them.
And I think sometimes when the DJ before are playing a little bit over their time slot, that's a little bit annoying, but it's happening. But I think some promoters are okay with that, and some are super picky when it comes to the time slot and how far you can go.
Yeah, which music you are playing, but all good so far, I would say.
And that's really good. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And what has been your most fruitful life decision that you've made regarding your electronic music career? What has been the number one thing that stands out the most that says, if ManyFew wouldn't have done this, we wouldn't have been here? What's the number one thing that you can say, this is the best thing we ever did for our career?
I mean, to start with, we were sending out demos to all the record labels out there, and we've been doing those baby steps at the beginning. And then I think when we got recognition from those more bigger record labels, that was a huge step for us from a record perspective. Of course, we released songs on Axwell's record label, for example, the member of Swedish House Mafia. So Axtone, his record label, that was nice one.
Yeah, that was a next step in our career. And then Spinnin, of course, it's another one. And on the live scene, it's a lot of different venues, but Minister of Sound is definitely one of those I would choose.
And also, I mean, based on, if we're talking about live stream, for example, we did a live stream together with you here last year. Great support. And also we have done lots of other live streams too. And some promoters have actually reached out to us thanks to those live streams as well. So, I mean, that's a nice way of promoting yourself too. So that's only there's only opportunities.
Yeah.
And do the both of you or one of you ever get fed up with making and playing music and tired of it? If that burnout happens, what do you do with that? If you're on tour, if you're out and you're just like, I gotta wake up tonight and I gotta do this show, but I'm just, how do you deal with that? Is there a mantra? Is there a workout? Is there a meditation period? It's something you do, a secret that ManyFew does to make sure you stay in the zone.
Yeah, well, I think, I mean, we are taking pauses in between when we are working, but obviously when you are working on a specific track, you are working a lot, and that could be hard to do, of course. And but we have learned from our experiences that take pauses in between is one thing, and also we love running. So.
Yes, I think to try to find a working balance, that's the most vital thing, and also eat healthy food. And I mean, stay away from drugs and stuff like that. It's So, but I think when we are on tour, for example, we have a few days off in between. Usually, I think to recharge the battery, that's very important, and sleep a lot.
Yeah.
And when you're on tour, when you're out there and visiting these other cities, do you get a time to take in the culture and get to explore and kind of decompress? Or is it go next city, go back home, go next city, come back home? Do you get time to, and if so, where's been your most memorable place that you both have visited and just had such a great time you'd always want to return back there?
I think when we have that time, we love to experience new culture, new cities, and also we absolutely love to experience new food. For example, we love to go to food markets and stuff like that. So that's basically what we are doing. And And also, I mean, to travel around the world, that's absolutely amazing, and meet new people, meet new cultures. That's lovely, and I think that's important for us. We are inspired by those type of moments as well in our music. I would say
that's I mean, inspiration comes from those type of things for us, so we get more energy to create new tracks. But obviously, sometimes it can be more of a hectic schedule to it as well. But we love to see new cultures.
Definitely. But I mean, to start with, here in Europe, for example, Spain has always been treating us very, very well, both on the Balearic Islands, Mallorca, Ibiza, for example, but also in Spain. So that's a really nice. France, nice as well, and we love the food there. That's nice.
But Ibiza is always a special place in our hearts to play at.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to make it over there. I might not want to come back home. We're super excited to be getting over to that part of the world finally, and bringing some of our team with us along on that journey to come over there. What would be your best advice to give somebody to stay entertained while during the long travels, during that downtime? I mean, is it you're on a train, you're on a plane, you're in the airport, you're still working on music? Or do you say, nope, it's closed, I'm in the airport, I'm on a bus, nope, it's closed. You don't sit up until you set up shop, till you get to the hotel room, and then it's like, okay, laptop's open, now let's get back to work. Close laptop, dinner time. What's the best advice that keeps you two entertained during the long travels?
Yeah, I think routines are good in a certain way, but obviously you need to listen to yourself, and I think that's the best tips I can give, is to listen to yourself and how you are feeling. If you are feeling creative, let's create a track at the airport, but if you are tired, then it's better to take some time off. So it's no one way of doing things, I would say.
Usually on the planes, for example, we are having a rest and we listen to different podcasts and stuff like that, and reading magazines, virtually magazines usually. So I think that's a nice way of relaxing, and also watching those streaming services. So with movies, so that's nice. But also, as Victor is saying, usually we got a lot of inspiration from different sources. So I mean, to work at the airport could be very inspiring for us, but you need to find that working balance.
Yeah.
And what are the top 3 podcasts that you two listen to? Do you both have the similar music or podcast taste, or do you listen to yours, Jacob, and you listen to yours, Victor, and then you come together and say, oh, look, you got to listen to this one, and you got to listen to this one? Do you share podcasts with each other? Or you listen to the same things?
Yeah, I think, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're listening to more or less the same.
Yeah, and I think you're listening to a little bit more of a chill piano lounge music as well. So
I do. And but
classical.
Yeah, but that's more on Spotify and no podcast. But I like to listen to that to relax. But I listen to the podcast of Mark Knight, for example, Tool Room Records.
Defected, I'm a huge fan of Defected music. Glitterbox and those songs, that's nice still. And also, I mean, there's so many.
Musical Freedom we are listening to.
Musical Freedom. You have the podcast by Sam Felt, for example. That's a nice one.
More during the summer, we tend to listen to Sam Felt's.
And Nora and Pure.
Yeah, that's also summer vibe.
Nora and Pure, one of our biggest favorite podcasts. So that's nice. Yeah.
And do you two ever make music completely out of your own genre that never gets released?
Yeah, not that often, but it happens for sure. Sometimes we just, picking up an organ sound or something like that, and it becomes some kind of church melody. But we try to sometimes it's nice to walk outside your comfort zone. I think that's a way to relax as well and learn and gain new knowledge.
Yeah, and I think a few days back we did a hip hop track.
Yeah,
so
we love hip hop as well, and so that's always nice to try to create some fat beats.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's you know, some artists just get so stuck in their genre they just don't explore. And so, you know, it'd be interesting to see who might have that drum and bass track or that happy hardcore track or something that you worked on. Like, I would never put this out, but we did that. Maybe even if there's an internal kind of which of the two of you could produce the craziest track, you know, but it would never get out there, you know, maybe white label it someday or something like that. But so question, how would you two define success as a DJ? Would that be like a Beatport top 10 hit, sold out tour? What are your two thoughts on that?
Well, sold out tour for me is, but also when we are releasing songs, I mean, we have small steps, small goals during the highway. So, for example, to have a release schedule for a year long, for example, that's a really nice success for us. But also, as you're saying, a sold out tour, Beatport top 10, but not usually Beatport, to be honest. I mean, there's so much other way of how to
but a sold out tour is one, I would say, but also record labels, as you're saying. But I also enjoy every step of success. I think if you're trying to produce something, I mean, building a kick drum or a bass, find the new sound, and when you're getting there, that's a type of success too.
And also, especially when we are receiving feedback from those guys who always been looked up to, that's absolutely some kind of success. So that's nice when people who's been in the business for maybe 20, 30 years are reaching out to us, giving us feedback and uplifting words. I mean, that's very encouraging.
Yeah. And sometimes success doesn't last forever for all the artists that are out there. What do you two do to save up for the future? What do you invest your earnings in?
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, NFT definitely is in there for sure, but also you need to think from a long-term perspective. And I think, but also you need to live your life as it is. But it's always important to have a long-term perspective in everything you are doing, but also, I mean, producing dance music is kind of a nice vibe. I mean, since we are producers as well, we are gaining credits from the publishing side. So yeah, that's one kind of savings you can put it as well. So.
Yeah.
And definitely getting into the NFT market, which has benefits for the rest of its life as long as it exists out there. I think that's going to be something that a lot of artists are going to start looking into. I think it's going to give them more investment in their music. That's something they can keep earning and earning and earning on. As long as these are moving, they'll keep earning and earning. But I think I've seen some pretty creative things with NFTs come out. I think are going to be really, really awesome. So super excited to see how that environment shapes up. Where's the weirdest moment you've ever heard one of your songs play before?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, it's always a very, not a shocking feeling, but when you're at the gym, for example, when you hear it just randomly, that, whoa, that's our track.
Yeah,
that's one thing. But also we have heard it in the
locker room.
Ice hockey arena in Sweden when we went to a match and they played our track, and that was that's cool.
So that's nice, but weirdest I would say in a locker room, but yeah, that's not very. Yeah,
it's hard to
And did you ever go somewhere like another country and play a show and were really surprised that the people in that country really knew your music? I mean, they really resonated with you. Has that happened before, or most people know, oh, it's ManyFew, they're coming through, we know their tracks, we know their songs? Or is this something like maybe they didn't know you were going to play and all of a sudden you come out and everyone's like, it's ManyFew, go crazy. Like, where's the furthest you've ever played away from home? You've toured all over, but
was it in New York City?
New York City is the furthest way. Yeah, and that was amazing. I mean, such a Nice city. We are big fan of that.
So that was maybe in 2018, I think, just before the pandemic, 2019. Yeah. So unfortunately, then it was boom with the pandemic, the live scene.
Pandemic, yeah.
But we are definitely going back to the States soon. So
where did you?
Sorry.
I was gonna say, where did you play in New York?
Yeah, it was in a very intimate blog, or it was a club / a blog.
Yeah, so I think it was a few hundred people.
Yeah, the address was at Times Square. It was one of those houses.
So I can't forget. Yeah, I have forgot the name now, but yeah, it was really intimate.
Yeah.
I went to New York City for the first time last year, actually, and for my birthday. And got to visit Times Square, got to hang out. We went to a nightclub there called the Brooklyn Mirage.
Yeah.
I cannot stop talking about this place. Ever since it now set the standard for me that I only will go nightclubbing out of where I live. I want to see more. That's hence why I'm so excited to be going to ADE and set the IMS trip up, follow up with that. Because there's just so much more out there to see, out there to do. We were super excited. One of our resident DJs was opening up for Lucy Tudor. She was opening up for Lane 8 and Lee Youth. And I did not know what to expect when I saw that club. I was completely blown away. It was an amazing place. If you two could host an event without any limitations, name 5 things you would like to have at that event.
Yeah, cool. I think we will. Shall we go for an Electronic Heaven event? Or?
Yeah, and I think lots of dancers around the nightclub, and also like a little bit like a circus, and also
shall we invite some big DJ perhaps?
Big DJs, and but also from a more visual perspective, I would think lots of different
dancers, and also. A lot of visuals in the background, of course, 3D feeling.
And I think also, but lots of other big DJs coming on board. But it's going to be a little bit like a circus, more or less. But I'm not sure about the animals, though.
But yeah, Electronic Heaven event.
Lots of power, lots of color. So, and lots of energy.
And the question here, your choice of drink before you go on stage. Is there something in your rider that says this has to be in the green room, or this is what I'd like to have? Do you have a choice of drink do you prefer when you go on stage?
Usually we are sticking to sparkling water sometime, but I think that sounds not super. But I mean,
lager beer is also. I mean, we love beers, so we are not going too much into drinks or something like that before. But I think always we have beers on our rider.
Yeah, lager beers especially.
So it's
so lagers.
Yeah.
So when I stock the Airbnb and you guys come by and visit, I'm gonna have some lager beers in the fridge waiting for
Definitely.
This year at ADE. Awesome. Other than that, is there anything else you want to let our DJ Sessions fans know about? Actually, I do have one last question for you. If somebody were to write a biography about ManyFew, what would the title of that biography be?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's a very good question and a hard one.
There must be something starting from scratch.
Perhaps something with the word journey, the journey of ManyFew, or something like that.
Brothers, something with brothers' journey, something like that. Because that's basically how we started. We bought a laptop, started in FL Studio, the DAW. Then we bought Apple for the first time. So we into Logic, and so we are self-taught 100%. Started to putting out songs on SoundCloud, etc. So from there we've been taking those steps and basically been doing lots of things ourselves.
Or perhaps brothers by blood and best friends by choice.
ManyFew.
I love it. Well, gentlemen, we're going to now be giving our DJ Sessions fans a hot little taste of an exclusive mix that you made for us. And I want to thank you so much again for coming on the show. We're definitely going to be staying in contact with ManyFew over the years, so look for that invite coming back. Probably stay in touch with you every 6 months with the team, get the promo going on. And, well, 6 months from now, well, actually less than 6 months from now, we'll be at ADE, seeing you in person, doing some really fun stuff. So thank you guys so much for coming on the show again. Where can people find out more information about you and what you got going on?
Yeah, please keep an eye out on our socials, ManyFew Official, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And also, I mean, massive thank you for having us.
We really appreciate a pleasure to be on board for the DJ Sessions. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure, Diamond. You have a wonderful evening over there. Evening time over there in the studio. Hey, wait, one last question. Do you guys actually play the guitar above your head, or is that just decorated?
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know there was some guitar on a track.
I mean, we play just a little bit, to be honest. It's more of a decoration for us.
But actually, we are sampling it, so we are putting in the cable there. So on that song in particular, we actually use that guitar, but we are not super guitarists. We are using those very, very basic.
Yeah. If we need a professional to record if we want something really big. Yeah. But if it's some basic stuff, we can do it. We can do it for sure.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much again for coming on the DJ Sessions. It's a pleasure as always having you. And Jacob and Victor, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And have a wonderful day.
You as well. Yeah. And don't forget to go to our website, thedjsessions.com. Find us on TikTok, find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram and Facebook, all the socials out there. But on our website, thedjsessions.com. This is Darren. That's Jacob and Victor Anderson coming in from Stockholm, Sweden for the virtual sessions. Because you know what happens on the DJ Sessions? The music never stops.